Hey, thank you and welcome to the Zest Leaders Club, the 46th session of the Zest Leaders Club, Filters in Your Life. Long time back, I was in Bangalore in India, okay? And the traffic now, we cannot even imagine. If I have to drive from one place to another, if it's just a few kilometers, and it will take at least 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 1 hour, or even more. But at that time, in those days, when I was driving from office to home, which was from Madiwala to Koramangala, it was a drive of around 6 kilometers and it took me only around 15 minutes. It was a Friday evening and I was happy, looking forward for a nice weekend at home. So at that point in time, I put some good rock music, turned the volume a little bit, and usually I'm a very careful driver, but on that particular day, I was like taking all the risks. I was like really enjoying my time driving and getting back home. I reached Koramangala, I reached my apartment, and then I went down the basement in the Raheja complex. As I went down the basement and I was driving, my music was still on, and through one of the places where I have to take a right turn, when I was taking that, I heard the sound, and that was a total good scratch that for sure that happened. I stopped my car, I looked, I had surely scratched my right hand side door on the pillar. How stupid of me! How could I ever have done that? I started analyzing what happened. How could I make such a blatant mistake? How can I make such a stupid mistake? I started questioning myself. When I analyzed, I realized that I was listening to the rock music. My adrenaline was pumped up. I was like enjoying. My focus was low and I was distracted. And that was the reason that I had that scratch. My senses were impaired, is what I would say. Let me now ask you a question. How many sense organs did your teacher teach you when you were in kindergarten? How many sense organs do you have? There are 4 sense organs which are right close, a few centimeters away from your brain. Your sight, your smell, your taste, or your speech or mouth or whatever you might say, and your hearing. These 4 are quite important, and that's why they are so close to the brain so that it can be processed faster. I would say that God created it that in such a way. Many people don't realize the importance of what they see, what they hear, and what they speak. They don't realize the importance of it. They say whatever they want to say. They hear to all kind of crap. They see all kind of material which is like spoiling their brains. Everything that you do has an impact to your conscious mind and most importantly to your subconscious brain. Your subconscious brain gets impacted drastically the more you watch negative stuff. Imagine you're sitting and reading the newspaper while your mom brings you a hot mug of coffee. Yummy, tasty Narsus coffee. Already when she was making that coffee, the smell was wafting from the kitchen. It's like really amazingly great South Indian coffee. And you take that coffee and it's like quite hot. It has the perfect color and it smells great. You put it to your mouth and take the first sip and you realize something is wrong. There is so much of coffee powder still in this coffee. And you rush to the kitchen and you tell, Mom, what did you do with this coffee? There's so much of coffee powder still in. And what does your mom do? The first thing that she would do is she would take the filter and then she would check if there is any hole in it. sometimes the filter becomes old and there is a hole in it as well. And if the filter is torn, it starts spilling the coffee powder into your coffee. What filter do you have for your sense organs? Do you allow everything, anything and everything that you see to get inside you? In the first place, do you even allow to see your whatever that you want to see? Hear whatever that you would like to hear? And speak whatever that you would like to speak? Or do you have a control as to what you see, hear and speak? That's the first question that I would ask. First, what we see. Whatever you see is like a photographic memory that goes into your brain and gets stored. The soldiers who have seen gruesome situation across during the wars, they still get up in the night sweating profusely and they have really bad dreams. The reason? Those images that they have seen are still in the mind and it gets processed and it comes out every now and then. They go for several therapy sessions trying to come out of those memories, those bad memories, but it's difficult. What you allow your eyes to see will actually get processed in your brain and is retained by your brain. It's quite difficult to erase it again. No eraser can do that. God can do it for sure. But then humanly, till date, there's no technique through which you can do it. I heard this story sometime back. And US based parents had twins born and they started growing up. And each of the twins was surprisingly different from the other. One was a very positive guy. The other was a totally negative person. So they took these twins to the doctor to identify what is happening and how they can correct the situation. So the doctor told them that they could do one exercise to try and see their reactions. When their birthday comes, give the one who is the negative guy, give the negative guy a nice gift while you give the positive guy one of the worst gifts. So the parents decided that they would gift the one who's the negative guy with a state-of-the-art, superb bicycle with so many gears and like a racing cycle. As soon as the negative boy got the gift, he said, "Oh my God, I will break my bones driving this cycle." Now the parents gave to the second child, to the other twin, a box of horse manure or horse shit. And this was nicely packed and wrapped. The boy opens it up and he smells it and he sees it and he jumps up from his chair and starts running out of the house, calling out loudly, "If there is so much of manure, it means there should surely be a horse outside." Look at how each child looked at their gifts. How do you perceive things that you see? How do you experience the things that you see? What is your level of filter, or what do you take in, or how do you process it? It all depends as to what these two children, as they were growing up, the friends that they had in school, what they had seen through various media channels and things like that, which had their impact on their brains. The same way, if you allow anything and everything that you see to impact your brain without any filters, you will have a major impact to your subconscious brain. Next, let's go to what you hear. We have been blessed with 2 ears and 1 mouth, and everybody knows that, right? Obviously, no questions asked. But what do you hear with those 2 years? Do you listen to all the gossip that's happening? Do you sit around with all the negative people? I had taken a session on whom you surround yourself with. It's available on one of the YouTube videos. You can go and check it out later. But the more you are surrounded by all these negative people, the more you will also become negative. The more you will expect negativity. If you are with the set of bunch of cribbers who are with complainers, a group of complainers, naturally your brain will also react similarly. You will also tend to become a negative person. At the same time, if you are with a group of positive people, you will tend to become positive as well. A child who has been all the time criticized, all the time complained about, that child becomes either rebellious or will become very docile, will become very silent and quiet. They basically clam up. At the same time, a child who has been encouraged, who has been appreciated for whatever that he or she is doing, they will become more bold, they will become more courageous, they will become more confident, and they will do a lot of things and they will be happy and cheerful and bubbly. Which one would you like to be? Would you like to be the twin who got the gift of the horse shit, or the one who received the cycle and still was not happy about it? What do you hear? Whom do you listen to? It's very, very important. Anything that you hear is getting processed in your brain and gets stored as well in your subconscious. And you have to be careful as to what you listen to and what you hear from others. What is the music? What kind of music do you hear? Are you listening to all the negative crap? Are you listening to all the unnecessary negative news, watching as well as listening to it? Are you listening to unnecessary podcasts which does not add value to your life? If you are, then you are not doing the right thing. You are not treating yourself right. Instead of watching all this or hearing all this crap, you can try, if you would like to improve, you could try to listen to affirmations. I am affirmations, positive affirmations. Listen to it and it will help you to improve your self, your confidence, the way in which you do things. So how about you? Wouldn't you also want to become confident, courageous, to be bold, to be happy, to be cheerful? Go ahead, start listening to affirmations. Next thing is what you speak. Many years ago, when my friends or colleagues at office, they asked me, "Enna pannittu irukka?" Meaning, what are you doing? I usually responded with a funny statement, "Kuppa porikittu irukka." Meaning, I'm like picking garbage, I'm picking trash. I never realized that making jokes of myself like that was impacting my self-worth. My self-worth, my confidence, my braveness, all that was tipping down. I didn't even realize it. Only at a later point in time, I came to know that I should not make negative statements about my own self. How many statements do you make on a daily basis? How many negative things do you say about yourself? Do you say, "I have a very bad memory," or I'm not talented, I'm not gifted, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm a slow starter, nothing works out for me, I will always be in debt? And when we say such statements, we or naturally become that. If a person is really a slow starter and he keeps saying, "I'm slow, I'm a slow starter," your brain actually processes that and makes you even more slower. And that confirms your thought process. And the next time you say it again, you become even more slower. and that continues. Why would you like to go into that kind of rut? Why don't you start saying positive statements about yourself? Start calling it out loud. I am great. I am good. I am positive. I am happy. I am cheerful. I am unique. I am talented. I am God blessed. Why don't you say such statements? All these positive affirmations will actually make you better. I would say fake it until you make it. Act confident. If you are not confident, act confident. If you are not feeling courageous, act courageous. And the more you put on a show, your brain starts believing it, and you become confident, you become courageous, you become a communicator, you become a good leader. Start acting that way. A lady wanted to become successful in her life, but she was not able to reach any heights. She was always at her lows. So she reached out to a life coach and asked her what she could do. The life coach had a session with her, spoke with her for some time, and understood her, and then told her, I will give you an exercise that you need to do, and do this for the next 1 month, and then come back to me again. It was a very simple exercise. Just take a rubber band and put it on your wrist. Whenever you say a negative statement about yourself, or when you say a negative statement about somebody else, or when you think negative, catch yourself and pull the rubber band and let it go. Ouch! Let it pain. And every time you catch yourself saying something negative about yourself, or thinking negative, or saying something negative about others, pull the rubber band and let it go. This lady did that. By the end of the first day, her wrist was totally red. She realized the number of negative statements that she was making about her own self. She was conscious the next day as to the number of statements that she was making. She started saying positives. The more positives she started saying, the number of times that she pulled a rubber band was also less. It continued. After a few days, she realized that she hadn't even used the rubber band anymore. The point is, when she met with the coach after a month, she was able to tell the coach, I have completely turned from a negative person to a person who speaks positive. She actually went on to greater success, to a better life, and to have a real good life. A few months and few years down the line, she became one of the successful people in US, and she had a great, awesome time in her life as well. All started off with a simple rubber band. You can also use that technique and change your life in case you are thinking negative of yourself or speaking negative of yourself or others. Use this rubber band technique, that will help you. What could you do in your life? Filter out the gossips and the gossipers. Don't keep them anywhere around you. Keep them away, or you be away from them. Don't go near them. Keep yourself far away from them. And that will help you. That's the first step that I would say. Choose to read the positive news, the good things, and choose to watch good programs. When you're on social media, don't watch or don't see all the crap that is there. Watch the best things which will help motivate you. If you go to the YouTube, don't watch unnecessary stuff. Watch all the motivational videos that will help you become better. And when you speak, be careful and remember the rubber band technique, or remember you need to be careful as to what you speak. Whatever you speak, whatever you say has a direct impact which goes through your ears back to your brain and has an impact to your subconscious and conscious brain. Be careful as to what you say or what you speak. If you filter better, you grow faster. I hope you're not looking for the bad coffees or the sedimented coffees. I hope you're looking for good filters to filter out and have better brains and better life ahead of you. Work on all this, and for sure, I would say in a year's time or 2 years' time, you'll be a much better personality who is loved by everybody in your team, and you will become a successful person. All the best. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.